Hello everyone, my name is Kirby G with Kirby G's Points and Miles, and I love weird co-branded credit cards. Now what do I mean by that? That doesn't mean that I'm out here applying for these weird co-branded credit cards. Whenever I'm in a store and I see them promoting their credit card, I always chuckle because sometimes they are absolutely terrible cards. I recently talked about the Cabela's card, which is a big hunting store that a lot of my friends go to that they all have, and it gives you 2% cash back at Cabela's and 1% at everything else. Now there are some higher tiers that you can earn after different amounts of annual spend, but that's a terrible card when you can just put it on a 2x everything card and get nothing for no annual fee. But sometimes, every once in a while, a co-branded credit card comes out and it's really good. It might be only really good in one specific use case, but for that use case, it can be very powerful. Now, what card am I talking about today? That would be the Walgreens MasterCard. Now, Walgreens is a popular pharmacy chain in the United States. I'd say the most popular are probably Walgreens and CVS, I would assume. But growing up, I remember having to go to Walgreens many times with my grandma to get different medications and things like that. And I'm kind of curious. This card might be really good for my parents. My mom definitely has to stop at Walgreens every once in a while. And while sometimes the prices at Walgreens can be a little inflated for things like groceries, soda, stuff like that, this card might be a good use for that. Well, as you can see here, it just has a $40 Walgreens cash rewards sign-up bonus for making a purchase at Walgreens. And that is something I do want to highlight. All of the earnings on this card is not direct cash back. It is cash back that you can use only at Walgreens. But the most important thing about this card is how does it earn? Well, as you can see here, it earns 10% Walgreens cash rewards on anything Walgreens branded within the store. So Walgreens, like many other stores, has its own set of merchandise. As you can see here, some examples of some different pain medications, multivitamins, things like that. If you're already buying them, they're probably cheaper than the on-brand products. So you might already be getting a discount by buying the Walgreens brand, but to get an extra 10% cash rewards on those purchases can be very powerful if Walgreens is a store that you frequent, and that is where you buy your medication and cold medications from. You also earn 5% Walgreens cash rewards on everything else in the store. Like I said, if you're already going there for a prescription and you decide to pack up some Gatorades or some toilet paper or anything like that, you're getting 5% on those items as well. And you can see hundreds of dollars of earnings per year here if Walgreens is a store that you frequent. I also want to highlight that they also offer some categories outside of Walgreens as well. Grocery stores, spa, salons, pet stores, medical bills, which is a category you don't see very often, sporting goods stores, gym memberships, and they say so much more here. You are getting 3% Walgreens cash rewards. Now, there's a lot of people out there that does not have a card that hits any of these categories other than maybe groceries. So this card, like I said, even if you're not spending a ton of money at Walgreens, you might be able to find a way to discount some prescriptions that you already have to pay for. And while you just earn 1% Walgreens cash rewards on all other purchases, those specific highlighted spend categories that the Walgreens MasterCard has can be quite powerful. Now, this card doesn't come with many other benefits. Like I said, 10% rewards on Walgreens branded products, some exclusions apply, 5% on all other brands, some exclusions apply, 3% rewards on other grocery, health, and wellness purchases, 1% everything else. But big thing, no annual fee, $0 fraud liability, and free access to credit score. Nothing too crazy. But for people that spend a lot of money at Walgreens, I would highly recommend looking into this card at least. For people who really want to prioritize simplicity, you can just give them this card and say, hey, at Walgreens, we use this card, and that's it. Every time you check out, there'll be a little thing that pops up on the screen. Would you like to apply rewards? Hit yes. While personally, I'm not a big fan of cash back just because I want to focus on traveling, there are cards sometimes that can just give you immediate discounts, and in my mind, that's much better than cash back. Specifically in this case, it doesn't apply to the purchase right away, at least I don't assume it does. Every next purchase you have, you'll have at least a couple dollars, 50 cents that you can apply to, discount your next purchase. And while obviously you can let that amount build up over time, use it on a larger purchase at Walgreens, just having that option to discount each and every purchase that you make after your first one is something that, at least in my mind, kind of hits up the dopamine a little bit. I want to relate this to a debit card that I actually still have in my side wallet for Quick Trip, which is a chain of gas stations in the Midwest that I actually used to work at. You'd have a lot of people come in almost every single day. They get their gas, their donuts, their coffee, hot food, soup, a lot of great things at Quick Trip, the best gas station in the world. But something I'd always recommend people to get is the Quick Trip debit card. While there is a credit card and it basically has the same exact rewards as the debit card, the debit card has no annual fee, doesn't take a hit at your credit score. It gives you 3 cents off per gallon of gas immediately at the pump, gives you 5% off in-store purchases, and a bunch of other awesome coupons in the Quick Trip app. This debit card is still the card I use whenever I visit home and I go to Quick Trip, which is at least a few times each weekend that I go visit, and get an immediate 5% off. Now, like I said, I could be earning maybe 5% cash back. I could build that up over time, discount maybe an entire fill up of gas. But just knowing that every time I'm swiping a card, I know I'm saving 5% over the regular price, that just screams simplicity. And while I do run a fairly complex credit card setup, it is nice to know that for certain purchases, it's very simple. I don't have to think about my $5 of cash back here, $2.70 of cash back here, my 100,000 points over here. I can just make a swipe, get my rewards immediately applied, and walk away. And like I said, the Walgreens credit card doesn't do what the Quick Trip debit card does exactly, but every time you're making a purchase, having that pop up on the screen saying, would you like to apply your rewards, means you have the opportunity to save money at every single purchase. Now, am I recommending everyone get the Walgreens MasterCard? No. This card is a very niche card, but for the right person, and we probably all know at least one person in our lives that could probably use this credit card and use it well. Like I said, 10% off Walgreens branded products, 5% cash back on all other Walgreens purchases. Unless you're redeeming your transferable currencies for some outsized value, it's going to be really hard to get better earnings at Walgreens. If you made it this far in the video, I just want to thank you all for watching. I'm almost halfway to 100 subscribers, and I'd love it if you give this video a like, comment, subscribe, and help me along on that journey. I've had some great love over the last few days, had a couple videos cross the 100 view mark, and on the way to 200 views as well. So like I said, if you did like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your babysitter, show it to your dog, I don't really care. But I'd love to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. So one more time, thank you all, and have a great rest of your day.